Hey everybody, Charles for HumbleMechanic.com. Today, I got a special guest. We're talking buying new cars. This is episode 113 of the Humble Mechanic Podcast. Alright, so like I said, we are talking about buying new cars, which is a little bit of a different topic for the show. Katie, thank you so much for being here. You just purchased your first brand new car?
I did.
And she did it in a really interesting way, and we're going to talk all about that in just a minute. But, Katie, before we get into the show, we got to keep the lights on. So, sponsor of the day, Rain Eater Wiper Blades. Katie, would you agree that having good quality wiper blades is very important to your overall driving experience?
Absolutely.
And safety?
Yes, very much.
Would you also agree that installing your own wiper blades is a very easy DIY?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. So, if you want an awesome quality wiper blade at a great price, check out Rain Eater Wiper Blades at raineater.com. So, Katie, before we get into how you bought this new car, everybody's dying to know, what kind of car did you get?
So I got a 2016 Mazda CX-5.
CX-5, that's their kind of mid-size, smallish SUV?
It is, and I got the Sport package.
Very cool,
yes.
Very cool. What was the thing that sort of pushed you, because I assume you looked at a bunch of other cars, and we'll get into that in a minute, but what was it about the Mazda that really stood out for you?
So the Mazda for me blended like actually driving again and feeling the road in a much more tangible way. But also being really affordable as opposed to some of the other ones that I looked at. Yeah,
that is huge. Katie, what did you come out of when you traded up to this Mazda?
So I sold a 2007 Toyota Corolla that had manual windows and manual locks.
So just being able to go, I'm sure is a huge thing for you.
It's amazing. People don't realize. They thought I actually paid more money for my Corolla in order to get manual windows and locks. I did not.
There is definitely a following for eliminating all of the electronic accessories that vehicles come from, but power windows and locks are kind of a standard for me.
It certainly helps when someone pulls up next to you on your passenger side and you can actually roll down the window and have a conversation if needed. Yeah.
So let's sort of go back before you bought the Mazda and look at the process that you used to buy this new Mazda. Where was the place that you started? Online? Did you just go right into the Mazda dealership?
So I actually started with some crowdsourcing, word of mouth. I knew that I wanted a mid-size SUV. And I knew that I wanted a newer car and I wanted to finance. I looked at leasing as an option, but for the amount that I have to drive, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. So after kind of gleaning some advice from some friends, the Mazda CX-5 was on that list. So were several others, the Honda CR-V, the Chevy Trax, the Ford Escape, and the Nissan Juke.
I drove a Juke the other day. I wasn't super impressed with it.
I did not end up driving a Juke, and that was because of some of my research. And the Subaru came up a lot too.
Sure. That definitely fits in that niche of small SUV type vehicles. So very cool. How long would you say you spent on research before picking the Mazda as your go-to car?
So I was up against a bit of a timeline. My vehicle registration on my Corolla was expiring October 31st.
I seem to kind of remember back last year and experiencing the November time crunch of getting your car inspected.
Yeah, so my check engine light was still on this year and it did not seem worth the financial investment of putting in a new transmission.
Sure.
So all of this led to probably starting about, I would say 45 days before the October 31st deadline, actually starting to look at not only asking friends, but looking at the Consumer Reports, Edmunds, Car and Driver. Wanted to get a good sense of what the safety ratings were, what the reliability ratings. I've only had Toyotas in my life, so this was the first time I really knew that I didn't want to be a part of the Toyota family anymore.
Oh, wow. Sorry, Toyota.
Sorry, Toyota. I love you in many ways, but I was ready to make a bit of a change. Sure. I spent the first part just doing a lot of online research, and then I actually went to test drive.
Gotcha.
So I had never driven any of the cars that I was looking at with the exception of the CR-V. My husband had a CR-V when we met. So I had a sense of what it was like. But.
Okay, very cool. So a month and a half of research, to me seems like forever to research topic after topic. I mean, you hit on just a few of the things that that people are looking at when they're trying to decide what new car, especially if they don't have a brand loyalty or they're trying to step out of a brand that they are, had been loyal to like you did. For me, I tend to lose some of the appreciation for how much time people really do spend investing in researching and shopping even for a new car. But you did it a really interesting way. You didn't just go straight to the dealership and say, I want that Mazda right there. Tell everybody how you took this approach that, I think this approach has actually been around for a long time. It's just so out of the norm, especially coming from me, because again, I'm in a dealership all day long. Tell everybody what you did and how that worked out for you.
I ended up going through the Costco auto program, which I actually didn't know about until I started my crowdsourcing of, hey, I'm sitting at the Mazda dealership, and some friends chimed in, well, are you a Costco member? Yeah, tell me more. So what the Costco auto program ends up giving members of Costco discounted rates at dealerships across the country. While I still spent the legwork of actually going to test drive the cars that I wanted to first and doing my homework, from a financial standpoint, it was an opportunity to kind of walk in and already have a discount in my hands before even starting the negotiation process.
Not to mention the fact that that negotiation process can be unbearable. I assume that when you went in with the paper, so to say, that's probably not how it worked, but they were just like, okay, cool, let's find you a car.
I kind of did my journey a little backwards. I narrowed down my list based on my test driving and just getting some general feedback from folks between really the Mazda CX-5, the Honda CR-V, and then the Subaru Forester. And so then I went to the Costco program and looked to see kind of where the best deal was potentially. Okay. And so how it works is you go through to the website, you type in your Costco membership number, so they know you're a member, and then you can say exactly what you want, like I'm looking for a 2016 Mazda CX-5, or you can peruse. And so what ends up happening is you say, okay, I'm really interested in the Mazda CX-5, and Costco will send your contact information to a specific dealership. So that's one of the limitations of the program, is you actually kind of lose control of what dealership that you might want to work with. And so I did that for 3 of the vehicles. I get a very quick prompt reply from the specific dealership, like, we want to talk to you about this car, which was really great. It's nice to have folks reach out to you rather than you feeling like you have to make cold calls. One of the other challenges is they don't give you an exact price on some of the vehicles. They'll say, they may tell you what the discount on the MSRP is, but sometimes that's more of a range than a specific number. So you do kind of have to do a little bit more of a lift when you get to the actual dealer and have conversations. Gotcha.
But you're already going in sort of with this, I don't want to say ammunition, but that's kind of the best way to put it, of, hey, look, I've already, done this legwork. You guys are, one of the preferred dealerships with Costco. This is what they told me. Let's work out the rest of the details from here.
Absolutely. I mean, you can already feel confident walking in that you will be able to pay less than the sticker price. Yeah. And so they are supposed to have a sheet of all of the prices listed out for Costco members. And Costco sends you all the instructions, and they're very specific. They're like, this is what they should give you. If they don't give you this, that's a problem. Okay. So, Costco takes care of its customers really well. After a few days after Costco sends you the confirmation, they'll say, did the dealer contact you? Let us know, we'll take care of it. So that's another benefit of at least having kind of a third party in your corner.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was going to say. It's so great to have someone sort of on your side that's independent from the dealer. Obviously, Costco benefits because it's just part of your membership, but it's great to sort of have someone removed from the deal specifically in order to help you out. So it sounds like overall, Katie, your experience with doing this through Costco versus just the traditional way of walking in the dealership and wandering around till, the sharks start to circle you out on the lot, it was overall really positive. Let's hit the high notes on the pros of using a program like Costco, specifically for you, Costco, but I gotta believe that there's probably other discount programs out there that'll do something similar for people.
The biggest bonus was that you really don't have to haggle if you don't want to. Like, the price is set, you can just walk in the door and say, I'm a Costco member, you got my information, let's make this happen. Right. I think another one is the follow-up from both the dealership and Costco. So again, you kind of have that third party who's on your side, who's saying like, hey, this is how it should work. So if it doesn't work, you let us know. It does surveys after you kind of go through the system, and they'll say, if you take our survey, we'll offer you discounts on labor and or other parts
Very
that
cool.
you may need. So,
Very cool.
I mean, if you know you're already getting a discount and then the potential to have
Right.
more savings, like it's a pretty big win.
Absolutely. And it's nice that Costco follows up as well, because if you did have an issue with the dealership, let's say something was wrong with the car right away and they were hemming and hawing around getting it taken care of, now you have, again, that person in your corner to kind of help you out and get the task accomplished or get the job done through the dealership.
Yeah, and I also, you know, I know we talked earlier about the fact that perhaps one of the limitations, I know we'll talk more about those, is that Costco has some selected dealers, but even what I was able to do was when I decided on the Mazda, it sent my information to another Mazda dealership, but I was able to kind of use that information to inform my decision back to the dealership I ended up purchasing it from.
Gotcha.
And they honored it.
Very cool.
And so just being able to, again, have more information to put in your tool belt, especially if you're a first-time car buyer, which in my case, I guess I really was, because I've always had someone else be part of that process with me.